Sanbanan, Dumelang, Abshen. I thought I'm in South Africa. You know, I don't have a privilege of saying all these languages when I'm in other countries. Do you? Good morning. Goeiemorgen. Yes, we're in South Africa.
Show me that you're happy to be here.
I take this opportunity to welcome you all to South Africa, the Rainbow Nation. And I am sure you might have noted that with my greeting earlier on, that I was welcoming you in Africa, and particularly in South Africa. Welcome to the 11th edition of IEEE PowerAfrica Conference, which is happening at this prestigious hall of Beachwood Hotel and OR Tambo Conference Center. A special word of welcome to all the industry partners that are present today, the sponsors, the exhibitors, and other participants.
The conference normally has different themes. For this year, we picked energy security for Africa. As we said in the opening, energy is everything. If you want to go into production, if you're in the village, you want to ensure that you've got a proper livelihood. Without energy, you can't make it happen. So this conference is a gathering where experts from academia, from industry, NGOs normally come together and share ideas, experiences, research findings, which some of them are tested and working, which can be applied.
And when they were creating that dam, a lot of people were dispersed. In all this area, there were people that were dispersed. There are people from Iteji, from Gwembe Valley who were dispersed, and they were promised that they will be given some power. But up to now, from 1960s there, they do not have power in that area. The power has gone all the way to this part of Zambia, in Ndola, where the mining activities are major. We have prioritized industrialization, but there is this person who feels obliged and entitled that my forefathers were dispersed and I need to have power.
For us as Zambians, it has come at a moment when we are facing what I would call a huge energy deficit in the country due to the drought, the El Nino drought that we have faced as a country. And coming to a platform where we have the global engineers, scientists, and different fields speaking to a challenge that is of energy security is a privilege. And I'd like to say thank you to the organizers for such a well-thoughtful theme that they have brought this year.
Yes, I care about your social well-being.
And while the PowerAfrica Conference focuses more on technology issues related to things like renewable energy and so on, the deployment of renewable energy into conventional grids, what IEEE Smart Village focuses on is generating these enterprises, and what we were talking about was the kinds of enterprises we have done in Smart Village and what we intend to do in the future, because the problems that we are trying to address are very large. There are more than 1 billion people who are not served or underserved by the electrical grid, and what we are trying to do is to reach out to these people. Our model is to try and, with a big vision, our model is to try and start small, but what we try and do is to make scalable and self-sustaining enterprise that can provide benefit, a long-lived benefit for the communities where we put this in.
In this paper, we tried to develop a preservation system for the fish, more so for the areas where grid connectivity is an issue and where the same grid power is not reliable, because it can be unavailable for a number of hours, and that is crucial for our fish.
So as we all know that renewable energy sources and energy storage systems have now emerged as a very, very important alternative for us to generate power due to the decline in the traditional power sources and also the need for electricity, the rising need for electricity.
We should be cautious in the next few years to not be greenwashing with green hydrogen. We should not provide misleading communication, but instead provide green hydrogen. We should prove green hydrogen has a space in our energy mix.
The next thing is energy needs to be channeled and to be productive, and we hope we can help these young people put their energy to good use for their own career, but also for their countries, for their universities, wherever they are. That's good to see such enthusiasm for the future.
So what I'm trying to say is, for me, there's a fundamental problem with this book. You don't have enough data to try and estimate and predict those contingencies because you don't have the right data that obeys the rules of causality. What do you have to say about that?
But my passion for Africa and helping share my knowledge, helping Africa get access to energy has never changed. So I've got opportunity back in 2019, 2018 to join PowerAfrica and travel every year to go and share my knowledge, what I'm learning, and share my 15 years of experience with in American utility with African colleagues and friends. So this is one of my passions. That's what makes me come back every year, help take some time away from work to come and share my knowledge and my experience. You have a vehicle, it's electric. What we all know is that those electric vehicles, if you have the right equipment and the right technology, you could use it to power your entire house. But what's the standard for that? How do you do it safely so that you don't burn up those houses? How do you safely so you don't hurt someone's child, or you can put safety in jeopardy, or even hurt the electric power grid?
So every country has some code, installation code, to make sure that you don't overload those wires or conductors. What happens when you overload a conductor? Heats up, right? It keeps heating up until it could catch a fire, right? So it's safety. If this building is not designed to a standard, again, it's a code based on the country, then this building will catch a fire, right? So safety is a very big thing when it comes to standards. Thank you.
So there are standards that the industry is adopting worldwide, but where IEC and IEEE may conflict, your best bet is to reach out to an OPM manager they are a staff person who helps manage the standard itself, to see if there is some way that they could set up a joint logo sort of committee, if that's the will and the direction of the standard itself.
It's very, very important that we generally have researchers coming out here in order for them to project whatever they've more or less been doing out there, and let the others also take it up from them, and more or less also exchange in terms of their own way or approaches. There are so many approaches that I can tell you that have more or less been used. It's more or less looking at it from the neural networks aspect. So there are so many others. You've been able to talk about the grid classification issues and things like that. But there is a need for us to more or less begin to project and see how we can get to a confidence level in terms of our prediction and estimation, which is very, very important in us.
It's always great for me to come from North America and see the quality of the technical work and of the engineers and the students that are here in Africa, and the quality of the work we do. And we don't always get to see it in North America. So it's really great to come here and see the quality of what's going on here, the innovations that are happening here, and the steps forward that people are making here to make electricity a better part of people's life, so that everybody has equal access and we can transition to clean energy in a way that's fair to everybody.
But I think we're just 5 or 10 years behind the research, which gives the companies more money.
So I'm fascinated by how can we combine data and the use of data with classical conventional tools which we develop. And the electrical power industry is so rich in heuristics and in developing methods and tools which make the system work, but often based on experience, based on conventional software tools. I'm inspired to complement those tools to bridge to the data science and the machine learning world, because that's basically where the new methods and technology is currently developed very heavily in the AI area.
I think in line with technology, I actually also would like you all to just say hello and say hi. Good morning. There we go. Now I've got evidence that I was at the conference.
We have over 280 papers submitted to the conference, and over 300 delegates attended the conference from different parts of the world, including Africa, Europe, America, just like the PEMPO has been in the previous edition. Last year we were in Morocco, Marrakesh, and it was fabulous, and Johannesburg gave us another different taste, which is very, very good.
I've looked at the program of this week for you guys. You've got women in energy, women in engineering. I don't like the topics that you put there. It can be career guidance and development for women. Put that for the youth. Malcolm, we can't continue about developing women in career. That is for the youth. We must bring women to be at the level where we are. They must be advisors, they must be CEOs, they must own this IPP space.
Some things have not really changed for women, that the traditional gender roles and societal expectations do play a significant role in how women choose their careers or how their families expect them to choose their careers. And sometimes these we learn not even knowing that we are learning it, or we are being influenced by these expectations.
I'm sure every woman who was there, we got one point that we have to stand up. We have to occupy those top positions. And I was glad to hear the advisor to the minister even encouraging that for men to thrive, to be where they are, they have the support of women. I'm sure you've seen that most of the supporters, it's women who outnumber the men. So if we can be accommodated in this space of electrification, I'm sure we are going to do wonders.
One thing we need to know that it is not about gender equality, it is about gender equity. Equality comes with competition of wanting to have the same thing with men. But with equity comes with fairness, understanding the role that you bring on the table and the role that the men bring on the table. When you look at gender equity, it has brought so many harm to women. And most women that have gone into that space have ended up in divorce.
It had the most registrations in the history of this conference, in-person conference, more than 300 delegates registered. We never reached 300 in the entire history of this conference. So for me as General Chair, together with my team, we are proud that yes, it turned out how we wanted it to. Maybe there are areas we could have done better, but in general, yes, it was successful.
During this week, I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of people. I've networked with many people from outside. I learned more about engineering and the university of the other countries out there. So it was really a nice experience. And if you are watching there and you're a student, you are more than welcome to come and join us.
Dear colleagues, we are the ones we have been waiting for. In my language, I say, kufaya yonke into zakuthi amaqabokazana ngalala endleleni ngabe kunyembelekile.